Check, 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 check. Trying to make sure we good with the microphone because last time I got the recording, my shit was a little low. So we gonna see what's to it. Hold on, we gotta make sure we check, 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 check. If y'all hearing this on the other side, I apologize sincerely. Right, I just want to make sure that you know what I'm saying. My inputs are the way that they're supposed to be. Give me a quick second. Did you? All right, so I'm just gonna have to make sure that I speak up. Cause yeah, I don't know what's going on with my microphone. This is mad weird. Hold on. Cause usually it's louder than this, and I don't know why it's not any louder than what it usually is, and I don't know. I have no clue. But there we go. Figured it out. Yeah. So, good people, great people, God's people. What the deal? If you don't know, my name is Professor Odie. If you do know, my name is Odilakachi William Hezekiah Onkwe, and welcome to Odie's office. As you all know, I do a live simulcast between YouTube Live and TikTok Live. So, I try to go live, or I'm trying to go live every day this week. I'm doing a promotional run for my email list and my courses. My email list is called Cypher, and it also is correlated to the first course that I have that's offered. The course is a course about emotional intelligence for the Black spirit, where we utilize Black psychological concepts and multiple different studies, multiple different spiritual intersections, multiple different conceptualizations of how it is that we can view oneself, not only just in a contemporary context, but in an indigenous Black context. And we utilize those things in order to develop self-awareness and enhance our emotional intelligence in the contextualization of Blackness. I'm also developing a book list. It's going to be an extension of what it is that I did previously called the group session. So if you cannot catch me one-on-one for coaching, and if you are interested in group coaching, excuse me, y'all. Ooh. If you're interested in a group coaching style format, then the Cypher does offer that availability for you. Once again, the Cypher is the name of my email list, and also the emotional intelligence course that I have offering for the people who would like to access me in that way. Now, I also have a second course, which is called Mindful Finance, and Mindful Finance is a financial literacy course that is taught. My bad, y'all. I feel like I got to sneeze again. Taught specifically from an Afrocentric and African American perspective. So we evaluate the psychological underpinnings of financial behaviors. We examine how it is that we are marketed to in order to make specific financial behaviors, not only just as individuals, but also how it is that we as Black people, because we have existed in a particular historical quandary where we have consistently had these resources removed from our communities. I've also taken the time to evaluate how it is that those things impact how it is that we as Black people exist within particular money contextualization. So all together, these things put together on my Thinkific platform are called the Classroom. So once again, my email list is called Cypher. If you go into my bio, you click on www.blackwealth.com. It'll take you to the landing page where you can put in your email information. On the landing page, it said that it's a free trial of Cypher. That free trial is no longer available. That was only available for the early adopters of the email list. So now it's just a straight through price. But once again, for the people who want to get a deeper look at how it is that I construct some of these ideologies, people have been asking me, are you going to write a book? Probably not right now, but Cypher, the course, has a number of the same ideologies that I use in order to contextualize what it is that I talk about on my platform. People are asking me, are you going to put out a book list? The book list is going to be included in Cypher. So all of the books that people ask me all the time, what do you read? What books are you reading right now? All of those things are going to be inside of Cypher, and we're going to, take different polls to see what books you all want to read per month. Do an Odie's book club, something along those lines, where we read these books, we discuss the topics, and we get a deeper understanding of what it is that we are looking to, engage in as it relates to our Blackness. Of course, always from a womanist intersectionist perspective. So if you're a Black queer individual, of course you can come join the Cypher. You know what I'm saying? We're definitely going to be rooting out anything that's like homophobic, xenophobic, fatphobic, anything of that nature. No, we just coming in to learn, have good vibes and understand good rides. You feel what I'm saying? So I know y'all seen that study, bro. That's what we're here to talk about today. I know y'all seen that study, right? The study that came out that said men's dating options on dating websites are beginning to become slim because women are not looking for, they ain't checking for men without emotional intelligence. I know y'all seen this. I know y'all saw it. And that's the reason why I felt like I had to pop on the live today, G, because I'm like, hey, yo, I was just talking about this, G. It wasn't even a whole week ago. It wasn't even a whole week ago. I was sitting on this live and I'm like, y'all, hey, emotional intelligence. Hey, I'm trying to tell y'all, y'all need to get hip on emotional intelligence. Otherwise, y'all finna get left. I've been saying this since like June, dog. I'm like, and now y'all finally see it. Y'all thought I was just out here hyping shit up. No, I'm not. It is a very real correlation between attractiveness and emotional intelligence. Y'all thought I was capping, and I was not. I tried to warn y'all. Like, y'all gonna stop playing with me, dog. Like, I'm trying to tell y'all, I don't just be on here talking shit. The things that I talk about are usually from what's called an evidence-based perspective, right? So what I'm going to do on this live today is I'm sitting in front of my computer right now. So what it is that I do, how it is that I do these streams is that I set up my TikTok stream here, and then I do the live stream on YouTube on my computer. So I use Streamlabs, you know what I'm saying? I'm kind of a blurty that way. I literally, like, all of my stuff is connected to a gaming computer right now. So it's yeah, so actually I'm finna show the TikTok family what it looked like. Yeah, so let's see. Yeah, my entire rig is connected to, you know what I'm saying, a gaming computer. So we on we don't do nothing slight around here, you feel me? But I just had to show the TikTok family, like, no, it's really on game around here. But so what I'm gonna do is I'm going to look up this information live, right? So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna correlate all of these ideas. So I'm quite literally gonna build in real time syllogism so that you all understand how these things correlate in real time, right? So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to define emotional intelligence, because what a lot of people have been saying is that, you know, we're talking about these things, but we're not really giving any tangible, any tangible things that we can work with in order for us to grasp these ideas in an internalized way, right? So we're going to walk through this step by step, and I want you all to see the connections between these ideas so that we can establish from a very clear perspective why there's a correlation within these things, right? So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to define emotional intelligence, right? So we're going to start there. And for those of you all who are on the TikTok live, this is pretty much what, like, the live cipher breakdowns are going to look like. So in my actual online community, this is what the live breakdowns are going to look like, and this is what the live book reviews are going to look like. It's going to be in a seminar format, and we're going to run through how it is that these things relate to contemporary installations. Y'all feel what I'm saying? So let's get busy, right? So once again, we got emotional intelligence. Emotional intelligence is the capacity to be aware of, control, and express one's emotions, and to handle interpersonal relationships judiciously and empathetically, right? So the two last words are judiciously and empathetically, right? So we're going to define the two last words, because that's what I like to do when I'm constructing ideas. I don't just like to take one definition and leave it at that one definition. That's almost like utilizing one word in order to define an entire sentence, right? So this is what we're going to do. We're going to define judiciously, and we're going to define empathetically, right? So let's get busy real quick. I want to make sure that I don't knock nothing down. So we got judiciously. So the word judiciously means with good judgment or sense, right? With good judgment or sense, right? So now we're going to define empathetically. Definition of empathy, right? So empathy is the ability to understand and share the feelings of another, right? So in this context, with this study, what we are stipulating, or what we are saying, is that a number of women are looking for men who have a particular level of intelligence related to how it is that they express and identify emotions, right? Because a number of women are saying, we do not feel safe with somebody who does not have this particular level of identification or this particular level of intelligence. So we're not going to continue to pretend as if though, I'm going to engage with somebody who doesn't know what, who doesn't know what this is, right? So that's empathy. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to connect these two ideas, or we're going to compare these two ideas to traditional masculine ideologies, or the pillars of traditional masculine ideologies, because what's going on in this study is that there's a comparison. There is a conflict between what it is that women are experiencing, or what it is that men are utilizing, and what it is that women are finding themselves attracted to. So what it is that we have to establish now is we have to operationalize what it is that men are using in order to attract women, to see what precisely is going on in this dynamic as to why it is that, these things are not attractive. So let's look at traditional masculine ideologies, right? Now, once again, I'm looking up all of these things live, and most of these things are coming from reputable sources, because I'm a behavior scientist. Like, what I look like? What you mean, Shuddy? So let's get into it, right? So okay, so traditional masculine ideology. A traditional masculine ideology proposes that men portray and maintain a specific social persona which reflects toughness, emotional invulnerability, heterosexual dominance and success, as well as an avoidance of anything deemed quote unquote feminine. And now, hold on, because I know how y'all like to tussle. Quotation: Q and Porsche, 2005, McCreary, Saucier, and I can't see the last one, but this means that this is from a peer-reviewed journal. This is not an article. This is not a BuzzFeed comparison. This is a peer-reviewed article. Do you understand what I'm saying? Which means that this is a sociologically identified phenomena, right? Just for shits and giggles, I'm going to give you all another term that I don't think a lot of people use. It's called normalized male alexithymia, right? So let's look up what normalized male alexithymia is, right? So, normalized male alexithymia, right? So, once again, scholarly articles for normalized male alexithymia. Scholarly articles for normalized male alexithymia. Normative male alexithymia is a very clinical sounding term that describes when men have tremendous difficulty putting their emotional experiences into words. This can often put relationships on the ice, because generally women need to talk about emotions to feel a connection, and men just can't go there. Right? So, once again, we're experiencing an incongruency of communication. Literally. What we are experiencing is an incongruency in communication. So when we're talking about this study where men are being more perceived as undesirable, it's not as if though men are just by nature undesirable. What's going on is that what it is that we've internalized to be successful or strong forms of masculinity are extremely damaging. Are extremely damaging. Do y'all hear what I'm saying? Right? So, for example, a lot of people have been saying to me, right? So I'm about to close. I'm about to close it because once again, I put the ideas together. You know what I'm saying? Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. You dig what I'm saying? I do this on a regular. You feel me? Stay ready so you ain't got to get ready. Right? But no, sincerely, a number of people have been talking to me about Andrew Tate. Right? So I've been doing a little bit of digging, and his backstory is terrifying. Like, his backstory is terrifying, right? So this man, I don't know if you all have heard, but um this man is apparently like dodging sexual assault charges. He moved to Romania because it's easier to evade that particular type of responsibility. Just very sickening things, right? So when we sit and we think about it, this man has a following that is humongous. This man has a following that is humongous. Humongous. Do you understand what I'm saying? But why are we as men so attracted to these ideas? Because we have internalized toxic masculine ideologies, right? Because once again, we know that masculinity by itself is not inherently toxic. It is not, right? We know that masculinity by itself is not inherently toxic, and we understand this. But what we are attempting to realize in these spaces is a type of masculinity that is healthy, right? So we're gonna wade into some waters, right? We're gonna look at some ways that healthy masculinity can be described, and we're gonna see how it is that we can begin implementing some of these things in our day-to-day activities. Because the reality of the situation is, I'm gonna keep it a bean with y'all, man. We as men, because we identify emotions as feminine, we lose out on a significant amount of environmental data, which would give us more clear and concise conclusions about things. Y'all gotta, you know what I'm saying? Forgive the alliteration. This kind of my thing. But no, we miss out on a lot of data. We miss out on a lot of data. Do you understand what I'm saying? And this data that we're missing out on does not allow for us to make these deep critical decisions, right? So once again, going back to the example of Andrew Tate, we it is literally the equivalent of us ignoring their red flags just because they dangle things that men tend to want in front of us. It's a very good marketing ploy, I'm not gonna lie, right? If I got, like, you know what I'm saying, all of these cars and, you know what I'm saying, these women and shit like this around me, I can make it seem as if though this is what you want to do. But at the same time, I know men who do this as well, and they don't gotta do all that, you know what I'm saying, ripping and running from the law type shit. It's wildly problematic, right? You're 100%. It's extremely problematic, right? So we're gonna look at. Let's see this. So let's see if we can do this. The divine masculine, right? Because I talk about this a lot, and the reason why I talk about it a lot is because, once again, I recognize that these traits are not gender based, right? When we get into the divine spaces, these traits are not gender based. These traits are more so energies that people internalize in order to function in particular ways, right? So the divine masculine is the manifestation of the male or father energy within and around the universe, right? The divine masculine is a part of you that represents the earthly side connected to labor, money, strategy, and self-restraint, right? So when we talk about commitment, when we talk about follow through, when we talk about discipline, when we talk about self-awareness, when we talk about, you understand what I'm saying, spiritual alignment, all of these things are within the scope of the divine masculine, and none of these things have anything to do with uncoupling your emotional self, right? None of these things have anything to do with removing or discarding or diminishing the feminine in order for you to develop a particular self-image, right? So it's something that you can utilize in your space of developing masculinity in order for something to be constructed that is healthy, right? That has outcomes that do not decrease your subjective well-being. Because if we're looking at this from a chronological perspective, a lot of us finna be assed out. A lot of us as men are finna be assed out, right? Where am I finding the definition? Oh, I'm literally just pulling things from Google searches that I can see at a glance are relatively like decent as it relates to credibility and validity. There are things that as researchers we have to look for in order for us to identify or ascertain whether or not something is a healthy source. That's one, but also two, because we're talking about more esoteric things, what it is that I tend to do is I tend to look at, or I tend to collaborate multiple definitions to see how it is that they either line up or synchronize. Because when we're talking about esoteric things, we are not going to be able to find quote unquote evidence-based constructions of these things that are presented in such a way where other things are presented, because esoteric knowledge is not knowledge that is valued by particular supremacist structures. You dig what I'm saying? So we can't always rely on the traditional formats of expressing validity and credibility if we're talking about esoteric knowledge, because it doesn't always translate. Y'all dig what I'm saying? So it's almost like saying, oh, we're trusting this governmental body to tell us the appropriate truth about black people or brown people. Like, nah, we know better, son. We know better. Like, nah, y'all the ops and y'all always gonna be the ops. But once again, the reality of the situation is we are looking at a non-marketed and non-processed version of what we are looking for related to masculinity. You dig what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, we do not have to, we as men really do not have to adhere to these ideas of traditional masculine structures. Like, we really don't. We do not. right? We can utilize particular parts of that structure in order to construct a positive self-image, but we do not have to engage in every single part of that dynamic. The reason being is because, once again, it does not yield a great outcome for you as a man. It just does not. It does not. It does not yield a great outcome for you as a man. It does not assist you in the construction of a healthy self-concept. It does not. Right? So this study is literally identifying how it is that traditional masculine ideologies, internalized and expressed in behaviors, right, contribute to the separating of families. And when I said this on the video, y'all thought I was tweaking. I literally said this on the video, like, what day was that? What's today? Thursday? I said it on Sunday. I was like, yo, I'm a therapist, and I undo the damage that these traditional masculine ideologies, I undo the damage that are done to families based upon these ideologies every day. I do. That's what I do for a living, dog. Like, this is what I do for a living. But then this study come out, what, 4 or 5 days later, and now everybody's like, oh, yeah. And I bet it's some of y'all who are still fighting the air, trying to push off this reality that this type of masculinity just does not work. It does not work. It is not compatible, dog. So why are we so attached to it? Why? It does not work. It doesn't work. And even if this study was not executed in such a way where it was done at a unit. Matter of fact, man, I'm acting like I'm not sitting in front of Google. We finna look up this study right now. Hold on, son. Let's see. Let's see. Let's see. New research indicates that romantic successes and failures can have profound impacts on how men think. Right? Okay. So, a man's popularity in the dating market can influence his sexual attitudes and even his views about socio-political issues, according to new research published in the scientific journal Adaptive Human Behavior and Physiology. So, this is the opposite side of the phenomena of men not being popular in the dating realm, right? And this is released June 4th, 2022. So this was a couple of months ago, dog. Once again, this is an evidence-based journal. So basically what this study is saying is that because men are not popular in the dating realm, they tend to shift and hold on. Like, they tend to hold on to the same behaviors. Yeah, they tend to hold on to the same behaviors. The study offers new experimental evidence that being unpopular with the opposite sex can shift heterosexual men's views about the minimum wage in healthcare. It may seem far-fetched to say that an individual's dating life can influence the individual's socio-political attitudes. Yet it is becoming more evident that romantic successes and failures in our everyday dating life can have profound impacts on the way that we think and act. And the example that they gave were incels, dog. So once again, this reiterates the probability of men being so saturated in this idea of traditional masculine ideologies that even when they are presented with evidence, scientific evidence, they will hold on to it. That does not make any sense. That does not make any sense. It is not nagging if it comes out of a scientific journal, dog. This is a science. It would be different if I was just reading like a BuzzFeed article. No, this says the journal Adaptive Human Behavior and Physiology. Do you know what physiology is, dog? Do you know what physiology is? Are you aware of what Let's look it up, dog. Because I don't think y'all picking up what I'm putting down, shout it. What is physiology? Right? Physiology is the branch of the biology that y'all love to hold on to so much, right? The branch of biology that deals with the normal functions of living organisms and their parts. Come on, man. Physiology, which means that this is once again, emotions are electromagnetic impulses that go from the outside of the body to the inside of the body and are processed by the brain First by the lower brain, then by the mid, then by the upper. Therefore, your physiological structure is literally telling you that the shit that you're engaging in is nonsensical and you're ignoring it because stoicism. You're ignoring it because be a man. Did y'all not listen to Mulan, bro? Right? You must be swift as a coursing river, with all the force of a great typhoon, with all the strength of a raging fire, mysterious as the dark side of the moon, bro. Right? Nowhere in there does it say, oh, you must be silent and still at all times. Nowhere in there does it say, rock. Stay still like a bolding boulder. Like, it doesn't say that in there, bro. They're like, no, it doesn't say that in there. It does not say that in there, right? This idea of rigid masculinity causes unnecessary strain. The idea of rigid masculinity causes unnecessary strain, right? Grace, I did not see that you called me. It's because my phone is on do not disturb. Cut it out, right? But no, it causes unnecessary strain, right? So it causes this. So once again, when we go into this idea of men wanting to hold on to traditional masculine ideology, but they don't know how it is that it impacts them as men, gender role strain. Let's look at it, shall we? Once again, I keep trying to tell y'all, I don't just be on TikTok talking. I do not just be on TikTok talking shit. I do this for a living. This is what I do for a living. So when we are talking about these ideologies and when we are talking about these gender roles, and we're talking about them as if though they're just traditional things that we should just continue doing, as if though there's not heaps of science that exists behind implementing these behaviors in such a way where it's literally destroying families. I'm not saying that you cannot be masculine. That's not what I'm saying. I'm not saying that at all. What I'm saying is that we need to reevaluate what masculinity looks like based upon the outcomes of the implementation of the behaviors based upon these ideologies, dog. Like, we can't just be sitting up here saying, oh, this works. And it... You feel me? I got multiple feedback. I'm looking at all of the screens and shit. I'm like, yo, I really need us to understand that adhering to these ideologies does not make them correct. It just makes them frequently utilized. You dig what I'm saying? So once again, let's see. Yeah, sir. So once again, the gender role strain paradigm. The gender role strain paradigm. There is an entire paradigm. In science, when you have a paradigm, do you know what that means? That means that it occurs so frequently that you can create a measure that can not only be valid, but also can be generalized across multiple populations. And yet men will stare me in the face because will look at me with their hot chests and say this mumu nonsense. Oh, the patriarchy doesn't exist. Bro, there's a whole paradigm that literally extracts gender role strain that's based upon, once again, gender roles that are placed by the patriarchy. But y'all gonna try to take whatever it is, whatever education that you have gathered that clearly is insufficient to engage in the range of this conversation, but you want to come to me and argue with me about something that you cannot even see is drowning you. You want to argue with me about a depth of the ocean that you cannot even swim in, brother. Because I'm watching y'all drown. Because I gotta come up with the lifeboat. So what you mean? What do you mean? We are literally allowing ourselves to be in states of loneliness as men. And actually, I didn't want to tell y'all the real sad part, but I'm gonna tell y'all the real sad part because that's just at the young ages. When we as men start getting to older ages, it's a very sad reality. But what's happening is that people are leaving their patriarchs in nursing homes and not ever going to visit them, not taking nothing. They are sticking these men in these elder homes and just leaving them there. And the reason being is because these men have burned so many bridges with their families that their families don't want to deal with them. G, that is a sad reality, G. That is sad. It's sad. And the reason why that exists is because we as men will hold so fastly to this idea of masculinity that I'm going to keep saying it. It destroys family because it literally comes from the idea that you have to be ready for war all the time. Dog, can't nobody be hard all the time. They say if that happens to you, you're supposed to call your doctor, shorty. So no, it's not normal. They say that in multiple commercials. If you hard for more than 4 hours, call your doctor. So you're not supposed to be hard all the time. It's not natural. Right? So once again, why are we in this space where we are constantly holding on to these ideologies that do not bring us unity? The writing is literally on the wall and we are ignoring it. It is hip hop's birthday. The graffiti is literally on the motherfucking wall and we not looking at it. 100%. Right? 100%. So at the end of the day, I really need y'all to understand that when I said what it is that I said about emotional intelligence and dating, I meant that with my whole chest. When I talk about learning how to practice submission with women, I meant that with my whole chest. Right? When I talk about learning how to yield to women, I meant that with my whole chest. Because y'all think that it's just something that no, bro, no. It is supported by evidence. It is something that you can look up and see scholarly articles about and identify paradigms within which these things can be measured, which means that this is an occurrence that happens frequently enough for us to study the effects over generations. Right? But once again, we'll hold on to science. Once again, we'll hold on to these ideas that, we're supposed to do it this way. We're supposed to engage in these traditions simply because these traditions exist. Right. But an intelligent people is a growing people, and a growing people is an observant people. If we are looking at how it is that these things have been implemented and we see that they are not functioning, why are we not changing them? As men, as the leaders of the community, if we see that these things are not functioning, why are we not changing them? Why? Why are we not changing them? Right? We will change words in text and in books to represent the foolishness of our ideas quicker than we will change our behaviors, and that has always been wild to me. We will change the words in books and ideas in order to support the foolishness of our actions before we will change our actions. And that has been wild to me, brother. That literally means that we as men, I wouldn't say black men completely because we haven't had that type of power, but we as men politically, we've been, what? How you had that type of audacity to gaslight entire generations? That's crazy. That's wild. You got the audacity to gaslight entire generations, dog? What? Hey, you ain't got a whole lot of brains, but you got some big ass balls to gaslight a whole generation, dog? Jeez. Right? We've been doing it for centuries. Simply to support what it is that we believe to be the appropriate way of doing things. And when I say we, that's when I start talking about us as black men again, because once again, we have internalized a lot of these traditional masculine ideologies for ourselves. And I told y'all earlier this week, this white man's house is in shambles too, and y'all thought I was just talking. No, I'm not. I say feminism and womanism, and y'all lose your minds, brother. Womanism, matter. Let's do it one time for the one time. Let's do it one time for the one time. Let's do it. Come on. Where's that? Where is it? Womanism is a social theory based upon the history and everyday experiences of black women. It seeks to restore the balance between people in the environment, in the nature, and to reconcile human life with spiritual dimension. One more time. Womanism is a social theory based upon the history and everyday experiences of black women. It seeks to restore the balance between people and the environment slash nature and reconcile human life with the spiritual dimension. Do you all know that it is that is literally, as somebody who learned at the feet of the elders of the Association of Black Psychology, do you all know that that is damn near word for word on par with the vision of Pan-Africanist psychology? The idea of African-centered psychology. So literally, this is the reason why I said if you are a hotep and you are a misogynist, you're wildly confused. This is what I meant. Womanism and African-centered psychology literally have the same vision. But as soon as y'all hear woman and ism, the first thing that y'all think is, oh, they gonna take my power. Whole time, womanism, all these black women are saying is, baby, I just want to get right with my man and the earth. And myself first. If that's my decision to do so. If I don't want a man, cool. Outside of anybody else, get right with myself first. Right? Get right with my spirit first. Why are y'all so against that? Why? Make it make sense. Make it make sense. Why are y'all so against black women centering themselves in their blackness and their womanhood at that intersection of divinity? Why? Why? Are we afraid that they are going to leave us in these pits of misery? The reality of the situation is, brother, they are. They are. And the only way we can move past where it is that we are right now, and I'm not even talking about white folks right now, man. I'm talking specifically to the brothers. Brothers, once we tap into our divine masculinity and not try to mask it with toxic masculinity, bro, it's going to be a whole different situation. But still, we are swallowing these red pills and turning into these alpha male niggas because we think that that's really what's going to bring us what we want. Brother, have you not been able to identify an empty woman yet? Have you not been able to identify when you have no substance within yourself yet? You know you feel empty, brother. When are you going to have the self-awareness and the discipline to tackle that emptiness that you feel? When are you going to have that empathy with yourself to sit down with yourself and say, you know what, I'm in pain and that's the reason why I keep fucking and doing all this other shit, drinking and smoking and shit, because I want to numb this pain? When are you going to sit down with somebody and accept the fact that that's what it is that is going on with you? And that's the reason why I'm so quick to call men bitches, because when y'all sit in a room by yourselves, y'all will fold. A lot of y'all will fold. And brother, that's a battle with God. That's a battle with you. That's the reason why when I talk to my male clients, I'm like, yo, the male ego just does not die. It fights. It fights. We want to fight everybody else but the motherfucker who know all the moves that we know. That's a real fight. That takes real discipline. That takes real time. Right? We want to get jiggy with everybody else but the person who is inside of us that's rocking us this way. That requires significant emotional intelligence that we consistently attempt to run away from because it is painful. There have been studies done that will show that men, if given the option to sit by themselves for 5 minutes in silence and to receive an electrical shock, do you know that a number of those men will choose to receive an electrical shock? Do you know what that tells me? That tells me two things. One, men will choose an opportunity to engage in reckless violence that they perceive to be masculine than to engage in a very real 5 minutes exercise that will increase their emotional intelligence simply because they are afraid that they are not equipped to deal with it. But yeah, we walk around here hollering that we masculine. Come on, son. Masculine to what degree? You a man to what degree? We kings to what degree? Emotional intelligence in the dating realm is extremely important, especially within us as men, because, brothers, we got a lot of work to do. We have a lot of work to do. We have the evidence, it's sitting right in front of us. We see that these things are incompatible. Like we talk about these modern women. It's not about modern women, bro. It's not about modern women, right? It's about our ability to create spaces that are safe for these women who are learning new things about their environment. The reason why we are truly afraid of the modern woman is because we have not become the modern man. The reason why we are truly afraid of the modern woman is because we have not taken the time to become the modern man. A lot of us are stuck in the 1950s and the 1960s. A lot of us as men are stuck in the 1950s and the 1960s, brother. We are 70 years behind. We are 70 years behind. That is a whole grandparent. That is a whole gammy of pappy. Do you understand what I'm saying to you? That is an entire lifetime. That is an entire generation. We are holding on to thought patterns that, to be quite honest, once again, didn't even work for our fathers, our uncles, and all of them. They didn't. Right? We doing all this moving around funny. We doing all this being dishonest. We doing all this lying ourselves into some pussy. It's 2022. It's 2022. Why are we worried about how it is a woman is living her life? Why are we worried about attempting to dim a woman's light simply because we want to shine? What happened to men who went out and got their own shit? Sincerely. What happened to men who were proud of their name and what their name stood for? Right? What happened to the men who were not willing to come to a woman unless they was in their right order? Y'all got the audacity. The audacity, dog. And I know y'all got the audacity because I be talking to these women. Y'all have the audacity. We as men no longer put forth an effort to impress women because we believe that their value has decreased. But the reality of the situation is their value has increased, and we have been taught that as a woman's social value increases, their home value decreases. That is that traditional masculine ideological bullshit. And that's the reason why we have this issue with modern women, because we are looking at them from a non-modern context. Y'all ain't figured that out yet? Come on now. So once again, how do we as men modernize? The first thing is we have to discard this idea that masculinity can only exist one-dimensionally. We deserve more, kings. I am a multi-dimensional, multifaceted motherfucker. Triple M. You hear me? Ain't nothing you can tell me I ain't, because it's everything I'm is. I know me, and I'm getting to know me on a regular basis every goddamn day. Right? And I don't say that arrogantly. I say that in the most humble way possible. Bless your heart. Right? But I ain't new to this. I'm true to this, little baby, and I does this. Right? I know me, and I'm getting to know me in a multitude of ways. Right? So once again, what does that mean? That means understanding who it is that you are as an individual. First of all, outside of this context of manhood, who are you as a person? Because man is socio-political. Who are you as a person? Right? How do you describe your emotions? How do you identify your emotions? Do you identify your emotions? Right? Have you taken the time to understand what your inner child is saying? On the days where ain't nobody around, on the days where the liquor ain't flowing and the smoke ain't blowing. Who are you on those days? Right? I'm talking about introspection, brother. Are we being introspective? Are we being reflective? Or are we just being responsive? Are we just being reactive? Right? Because now, once again, we got the numbers, we got the science. So now, well, what we doing? Are we moving? Because in my mind, I thought that men used facts. I thought that men used logic. I thought that men use numbers and not emotions. Brother, what we are looking at are cold hard facts. What we are looking at are cold hard numbers. What we are looking at is cold hard science. So why are we not being scientific about this? Why are we not being executive about this? Because there is an emotional block. The reason why we are not executing is because there is an emotional block related to execution. 100%. 100%. Right? So at the end of the day, once again, emotional intelligence is what is going to bring us as the new men, right? As the modern men. This introspection, this reflection, this identifying what it is and how it is that we can create safer spaces for not only ourselves but for our families. That is what is going to bring the black family back together. That is what is going to bring black money back into black households. Brother, we have to lead that charge, right? We have to spark that conversation. We got to row that boat because once again, shorty, it ain't like the boat ain't moving, right? But we're not adding our energy into making sure that that boat moves, right? So, but y'all know how I get down, man. I've been preaching for a little minute. Let's see what's good in the comments, man. My phone is on 8%, but it's cool though. Let's see. Do I think participation trophies hurt or help? I don't know. I don't know. I'm not a participation trophy person. Let's see. That's facts. They have been living with the mother and looking for another mother. Yes. Oh yeah. There's nothing modern about the liberation and elevation of women. It's actually very ancient. Yeah. No, most definitely. Like, there's nothing new under the sun. A lot of the ideas that we believe are contemporary, if you go back far enough, you can see the anthropological origins of these things. They're not new. We have to stop using this modern term. What's happening is that we're identifying with some BS, and what's the BS that we're identifying with? 100%. We are scared to do. We are in. So here's the thing. My bad, y'all. I hit my microphone. So here's the thing. I firmly believe that men are intimidated by the modern women, but by the modern woman, because the modern woman, in a lot of ways, I'm not gonna say replaces this man, but makes this man feel as if though he's not needed. So a lot of men perceive that their only ability, which is the reason why once again I said that we have to stop looking at masculinity as one dimensional. I've asked a multitude of men what it is that they feel like their role in a relationship is, and it's simply financial provision. That's very sad because if you cannot financially provide, you feel like you're useless, and thus you tend to devalue the thing that you are attempting to obtain because you exist in a symbiotic relationship. So in other words, if this woman doesn't need me, I'm going to make her need me in order to feel valuable. That's codependency. What's good, y'all? What's good? You said women want to be single mom. What, bro? What woman do you know wants to be a single mother? No, a woman does not want to be a man who she knows is gonna. The woman does not want to be with a man who she knows is going to lead her child and her into destruction. She doesn't want to be a single mother. She would rather be single than allow you to kill her and her child. Yes, that's actually what it is that I was talking about. The Psychology Today article, "The Rise of Lonely Single Men." Yes, that was actually the the inspiration behind this live, because I'm like, yo, y'all think this is just like a bunch of articles or a bunch of like feminist nonsense? Nah, G, this is coming from reputable sources. Like, y'all are drawn. Those trying to keep us separated created all these. So, oh my God, yo, hey man. So I'm looking at your profile picture, and it looks like you're a slightly older black woman. So I'm gonna say it to you like this. Once again, these terms were created to keep us separated. Okay, so then what are we doing to keep us together? Because you give me the enabling black woman feel. Like, you give me very much so I'm gonna let this man do what it is he does simply because he a man. That's just what men do. That shit out of here. Like, no, absolutely not. How can you get counseling from me? Well, right now all of my one-on-one slots are done. They're all filled up because y'all went crazy. Thank y'all. So, like I said before, or like I said earlier in the live, I have an offline community called Cipher. Um, So if you go to my bio right now, www.blkwlth.com, or if you go on my TikTok bio and you click the link, it'll take you to a page where you can put in your email information, and then you should receive an email giving you access to not only just a free trial of my mindful finance course, but also my Cipher online community. Now, my Cipher online community used to have a free trial associated with it. It does not anymore. Now it's just a straight through price. And what it is that we do in the Cipher community is not only do we, examine particular tenets of black psychology and how it is that they relate to blackness. Hold on, y'all, because my phone on 5%, so we finna end this in a minute. But how it is that they relate to black psychology, but not only the tenets of black psychology, but the black experience. I have spiritual engagements, and that's when I say spiritual engagements, like learning different things about your spiritual battery, whether it be zodiac, star seeds, what else? Zodiac, star seeds, human design, like all of those different things. My business mentor is a black yogi. She's a black female yogi. So I'm getting ready to start doing things with her. So all of those things will be able to be accessed through the Black Wealth platform, the Cipher platform. So once again, go into my bio, click that link, www.blackwealth.com. If you click that link, put in your email information. Once again, that online community is now available. We're also going to start doing like live tours of different cities. So yeah, it's going to be a number of things in that space. For people who've been asking me, am I going to write a book? Cipher is going to be the closest thing to writing a book that I'm going to do. I'm creating it similar to a collegiate course. I'm also gonna upload a book list, and we're gonna start a book club, things of that nature. So there are gonna be a number of things that are going to be inherent in the Cipher community. So once again, if you are asking about coaching or counseling from me, once again, all of my one-on-one slots are full. But as I said previously, the Cipher online community is the next most engaging way to engage with me, where it is that we do personalized lives, things of that nature. So that's where it is that you can catch me. Let's see. Can lives be replayed? 100%. So all of my lives are also simul streamed to YouTube, and actually the YouTube lives, the YouTube streams are actually high definition. So it's gonna be it's gonna be busting. Almost definitely. If you go on my YouTube, so you go on YouTube, type in Odie's Office, ODI' Office. It'll pull up my YouTube page. All of my lives are saved onto that YouTube. So once again, this is a simulcast. It's not just on TikTok; it's on YouTube as well. But yeah, y'all, I think that's all I got for today. So once again, join upon the email list, right? So hop on my email list. Once again, www.blackwealth.com, BLKWLTH. Put in your email information so that you can be kept updated on what it is that I do as a content creator. When I'm gonna start doing masterminds, retreats, live lectures, things of that nature. As I said previously, group we do group engagements, we do book club reviews, we do book lists, we do accountability, all of that good stuff. So once again, join up the email list. And yeah, that's all I got for y'all, man. Once again, my name is Professor Odie, and we out here. Peace, love, soul, and butter rolls. I see.